Hi everyone, I'm Sunshine Jackson, and thank you so much for joining me for the Sunshine Sessions. Well, it has been a while since I have posted on YouTube. I am not a professional YouTuber, although I would love to be welcomed into the community, if I got the support. But primarily, I have taken my podcast to Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and various other places where podcasts can be found. So please check me out there if you will. The Sunshine Sessions. I don't tend to do a lot of celebrity news unless it really ties into what's kind of going on in society. If it's just regular gossip and that type of thing, I don't tend to really delve into that. And I'm not knocking it, but there are other YouTubers who are out there doing it, and they do a great job at that. So I will not step in that arena. I will allow the experts to do what they do. Mine is a little different than that. And I'm here today because I wanted to talk about something that has recently taken place with Godfrey, the comedian. Very funny comedian, great impersonations, I should say. And just pretty funny guy as far as the comedy goes. In my opinion, I think he's uber talented. Recently, he did a video on his Instagram, which is where I saw it, where he is addressing a billboard or an advertisement in a New York borough that depicts an advertisement, not the borough, that depicts a black or possibly biracial woman with a white man, depicting them as, one would assume, a couple, be it married or just boyfriend, girlfriend, but a couple. That particular advertisement is for a bank. Well, Godfrey lets us know in the video that he has a problem with that image because he feels that, and excuse me, I have to gather my thoughts on this. He feels that that particular image is going to tell black women, hey, this is better for you. I'm going to go out and get me a white man. Godfrey, I think, leads with he gets why so many black women are angry, or why black women are angry because black men have pretty much failed black women. That's not a direct quote. That's the gist of what he's saying. So he says he gets it as far as black women divesting. He gets it. But then he immediately goes on to say that, black men started this. Apparently, he's speaking of interracial dating. He says black men started it, so he understands why black women are angry. But he then states, where are the images of black men with white women? He wants to see, or there should be more of that because there are so many. That's what he said. And you all should check his video out. I didn't post it here. I'll let you go to his Instagram to look at it. And it's an interesting video. It's an interesting rant because at first it starts as though he's going to champion black love or black relationships, which I think he kind of peppers in there. But it turns into his immediately saying there should be more images of black men and white women since black men started the interracial dating thing. To me, just my opinion, that kind of nullifies everything that he is now stating in his explanation video that he meant to say. It nullifies everything because you have a problem with the interracial relationships as long as it's white men, black women, or black women, white men. But you want to see more images of black men and white women since black men started the entire interracial thing. Now, let me say this. He's a public figure. He has every right to his opinion. He's a celebrity. That's, it's his opinion. My opinion is grown people date whomever they choose. Whether it's a black man, it's a black woman, people date whom they choose. My problem with the Godfrey rant is, well, not just with the Godfrey rant, but with the black men and black women who are co-signing him. My problem is you're saying in this instant, image is matter. Subliminal messages matter. They matter with this poster of a biracial woman and a white man, so much that you do a rant and a video. But for the decades that black men have been depicting themselves in their art, their careers, things like that, in the public eye with mixed white, non-black women, it wasn't images and subliminal messages matter. It was more like, stop riding that black man's penis. Black men can choose to date whomever they please, and black men don't owe black women anything. Amongst the other typical, nobody wants black women, blah, 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 blah. But this one image is so triggering that he feels like black women are going to look at this and say, according to him, white men are better. I should go and get me one of those. So apparently, black women who are not a monolith, by the way, who are professionals, who are thinkers, who are mothers, who are leaders, who are even strippers and hoes, because we run the gamut. But apparently, black women are so impressionable and easily influenced that this one image of a biracial woman and a white man, or even a fair complected black one, I don't know, I can't tell from memory. I would have to go back and look at it. But that one image is so influential that we would all want to run out and say, hey, I'm going to get a white man because apparently they're better. Not that white men would look at the image and say, hey, I'm going to get me a black woman because apparently black women are better. But black women are so impressionable and easily influenced that this one image would do that. Although for decades, black men have been parading their preferences of non-black women in the media and everywhere else. But that's just a preference. The response to the criticism and the backlash from this video is everybody else missed the point. And those of us who don't get his point, we're just dumb. We're stupid. Godfrey's words. Everybody who doesn't agree with what he's saying. And he also goes on to say in the explanation to the video and the response to the backlash, he goes on to say that what he was trying to say is that this erases the image of the black man in the black community, and that it states that black men and black women are not in relationships. Then why didn't he just state that in the video? Good question, right? Simple, right? But what he's saying is he didn't feel like he had to state everything that he was thinking because he thought that people would get it. Let me ask you all a question. If you make a cuisine, a dish, a dessert, an entree that is specific to a certain culture, and you leave an ingredient out of that particular dish, and a person from that culture tastes the dish and speaks out on the fact that there's something missing from said dish, do you get mad at the person who brings that to your attention, that there's a missing ingredient? Or do you step back and say, hey, I screwed that up. What I meant to do was this. What I meant to add was this. The backlash could have been addressed by saying, I effed up. Sorry, YouTube. I almost said something else. He could have said, my point was this, and I didn't convey that the best way that I could have. But instead of doing that, he goes on the defense and calls all the black women who disagree with him stupid and a bunch of other names. Now, Godfrey himself has admitted to sleeping with white women. He said he's never dated one. I looked at a Vlad interview that he did because I like to be prepared for this type of stuff. He said that he's never dated a white woman. You're not going to catch him holding hands and that type of thing. I'm sorry about the moving camera, guys. You're not going to catch him holding hands, being in a relationship, starting a family, making babies with a white woman, but he has slept with plenty of white women and women of all races. That's what he states. Yet, he very easily refers to black women who are in relationships with white men as bed wenches. My question is, does sleeping with all these white women make him and other black men who share his ideology, does that make them bed bugs? And if so, why don't they see it? I have also seen incidents where Godfrey has really taken up for black women, defended black women, and professed his love for black women and stated how black women are the least protected and most disrespected. He has really championed standing up for black women, which is why I'm so confused as to why the moment a black woman disagrees with something he said in his video because he didn't make himself clear, how he can just like that flip the switch on the women that he loves so much and degrade and belittle it makes me question everything. I will always give people the benefit of the doubt, but when I see it with my own eyes and I hear it with my own ears, and instead of the process of being humble and saying to the people that you love so much and who have supported you and made you who you are, and when I say that, I would not ever take anything away from that man's talent. I think he is brilliant as a comedian. He is hilarious, despite how I feel about his misgivings or the way he conveyed himself in this video. Despite all of that, I won't ever take away from his talent. But to see the response to the women who have supported you, instead of saying, hey, this is what I meant, I should have added this, or I could have said this differently, but to go on this attack and this rant and call all the women who didn't get it stupid and uneducated and a host of other things, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. You all continue to undervalue and underestimate the power of the Black woman. And what I mean by that is no other woman on earth protects, defends, and rallies for the men of their community the way Black women do, despite the BS that is said about Black women and shown to Black women. Despite that, there are still women in the Black community, Black women, who rally to the aid and the defense of Black men. But I am telling you that Black women are waking up and they are getting tired. This one-sided loyalty is getting old. It is asinine to think, and even more stupid to say, that there is a problem with images depicting white male, Black female relationships, but you want to see more